The impact of artificial intelligence will be huge. It will revolutionize every area of our lives. Sebastian Thrun, the founder of Google X. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, that sounds great and all, but what does that really mean? The next smart thermostat? Hello, I'm Vedant Dayal. Artificial intelligence is a technology that can learn, judge, and interpret. A technology that can execute human cognitive functions. One of the best examples today being OpenAI's ChatGPT, an artificial intelligence chatbot. I recently asked ChatGPT, what can artificial intelligence be? It simply responded by saying that AI has future applications in healthcare, finance, and education. It interpreted the question as, how can AI benefit humanity? Now, I don't know about you, but to me that sounded a little too PR trained. So I then asked GPT, what can artificial intelligence be without considering its benefit to humanity? Its response, AI as a form of life. Considering AI as a form of life with its own rights, aspirations, or survival mechanisms. This shifts the discussion towards the ethical and moral considerations of AI's place in the universe, independent of its utility to humans. Think about that. AI as life. Life itself is defined as the condition that distinguishes plants and animals from non-organic material, yet GPT is telling me that AI can be life. Now, call it delusion or the future, but death by science fiction doesn't seem to be a movie away anymore, does it? But don't worry, AI can also be puppies too. As a matter of fact, right now, AI is puppies. Have you ever liked a video on social media only for your entire For You page to become that type of video? Well, that's artificial intelligence. Companies such as Meta are analyzing user interactions to create For You pages all around the world. This is one of the most widespread applications of artificial intelligence today. I can't guarantee what AI will be 10, 20 years from now. Nobody can. But I can tell you artificial intelligence is here to stay. Let's take a moment to imagine how far the technology has come, what is actually happening, why we are having this conversation, and what you should look forward to. Meet Dr. Don Paz, the director of the Galilee Medical Center in Israel. Last year, he saved someone's life with a special helping hand, an artificial intelligence app. A 50-year-old patient entered the hospital for a routine CT scan. They reported some symptoms, but doctors weren't able to make a diagnosis because CT scans there take 1 to 2 weeks to be processed. Fortunately for them, Viz.ai, an AI-assisted diagnostic program, analyzed the CT scan within the hour and reported potential intracranial bleeding. The patient was rushed back to the hospital where an emergency procedure saved their life. Viz.ai is the first artificial intelligence to be approved by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and is now giving hospitals widespread access to a technology that wasn't previously attainable, all through something they've always had, smartphones, outlining a key concept in this AI revolution, accessibility. Artificial intelligence is more popular now than ever because of accessibility. Companies such as OpenAI are democratizing artificial intelligence by making it accessible to everyone rather than just to programmers. GPT gets 1.5 billion views per month because it can be used wherever and whenever you want, so long as you have internet connection. In the comfort of our homes, workplaces, or even classrooms. Now I ask you this. Is the outreach of artificial intelligence exceeding the ability to monitor it? Last year, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was fired from his very own company in a silent coup d'etat fashion, one of the many reasons being Project Q-Star. Project Q-Star is an artificial intelligence that has breached the domain of artificial general intelligence. Simply put, AI that is smarter than humans. Or in other words, a company as large as OpenAI had to question whether it posed a genuine threat to humanity. You see, you and I no longer have a choice of whether we want to take part in this revolution. We have been volunteered. This is the techno-social impact of artificial intelligence. The guardrails that were initially put in place to constrain AI are quickly being surpassed. As a society, how far we let it derail us depends on the actions we make today. The development of full artificial intelligence can spell the end of the human race. Stephen Hawking. Well, Mr. Hawking, you're absolutely right. It can, but we won't let it. Let's first establish that AI can be used for good. A study conducted by McKinsey & Company compiled a library of 160 AI test cases aimed at solving 17 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or in other words, social impact. They found 18 AI capabilities that all ultimately demonstrated social benefit in 10 domains, ranging from crisis response, equality and inclusion, health and hunger, and security and justice. They pinpointed the most effective capabilities into 3 major categories: computer vision, natural language processing, and speech and audio processing. But what if I were to tell you there is nothing unique about these capabilities themselves? That as a matter of fact, companies are applying and developing these capabilities on a day-to-day basis. In computer vision, Meta is using this capability in Instagram for the creation of your For You page, Apple using natural language processing for Siri, and speech and audio processing, Zoom, for video conferencing. These companies are hyper-scaling technology adoption. The measure of their impact right now is predominantly reliant on their ability to generate economic value. We need to change the narrative from prioritizing economic value to maximizing techno-social impact. All right, so we've established that AI can be used for good, and that we need a framework in place to capture its techno-social impact. But how do we go about doing that? Enter Tempo. Leaning on key developments in AI regulation, I've created an acronym, TEMPO, to address the techno-social impact of artificial intelligence. Transparency, ethics, monitoring, partnership, and outcome. TEMPO. These elements will help regulate the tempo of artificial intelligence growth. Transparency. We live in a world where digital accounts shape our identity. As such, we have a right to protect it, a right to privacy, a right to know what sensitive information artificial intelligence is using, and a choice to consent whether it can or can't be used. The second aspect of this category is companies and the government. Transparency for a company entails honesty and accountability about their objective. Access to vast sensitive data sets is limited to certain organizations. If companies are now seeking access to them, governments need to quite simply know what they are using it for. Ethics. Ethics are the guidelines we set to determine whether it's righteous to even begin the development of certain artificial intelligence. UNESCO created the first global standard on AI ethics. Adoption and evolution of such standards will be crucial in the responsible development of artificial intelligence, whether it continues to be a criteria or as simple as good and bad. Monitoring. Monitoring ensures that we continually assess the techno-social agenda, that at any point in time, governments can ensure that companies are in compliance, and this technology, most importantly, is in compliance with regulations. Partnerships. Public and private sectors here can collaborate to develop AI for public services, such as healthcare, transportation, and education, while addressing data and privacy concerns. Through these partnerships, companies can gain access to the data they need, while also helping governments with federal infrastructure. Outcome. Outcome is the summation of TEMP, the overarching effect of artificial intelligence governed by techno-social metrics. AI has just recently boomed. We don't know the indicators of good AI and bad AI. Through strong public and private sector collaborations across Tempo, we can create a criteria for artificial intelligence before it is made rather than after development. AI is here to stay. In the same way that AI can't think like humans, humans can't think like AI, and we need to utilize that. I'm not embracing that AI is inherently good. Artificial intelligence is a technology that can be used for good. By following the principles of Tempo, we can create good AI in a good way while maximizing its techno-social impact. Tempo. Transparency, ethics, monitoring, partnership, and outcome. That's the key to a future I look forward to, and hopefully you do too. Thank you.